Okay, let's get some pool practice here and use our reflection concepts to help us understand how we can actually visualize bank shots in pool. So those of you that like to play, not very good at banking, this is actually a really good technique to think about when you're actually out doing it. And when I play pool, I think about reflections all the time. So let's. I got my pool app here, my pool practice, right? Let's say that we want to bank this ball off of this rail right here into this pocket on the side pocket here. Okay, so how can we do that? How can we use reflections to help us see where we have to hit this ball? I would imagine it's going to be somewhere like right over there, somewhere like right there. Okay, so here's how we do this. Let's use GeoGebra to visually see the geometry of how we can hit this ball. So I'm going to make this picture full screen. Okay, now we're full screen here. I'm going to take a screen capture of this of our pool game. So I'm going to hold the start button down and I'm going to hit the volume down button on my tablet, and you can see that it fades real quick. It took a picture. Okay, so now we have to go to that picture. So let's see here, maybe I make it small again. All right, so now we have to go get that picture. It's actually in your libraries. It's in your picture folder. When you take screenshots from your tablet, there will be a screenshot folder in your picture folder. So that's where the picture is at, okay? It's always in your pictures, screenshot in this case. All right, now in GeoGebra, so pull up GeoGebra, try to do the side by side so that you can watch the video and you can set this up your GeoGebra as well um, when you play or do whatever you need to do, I guess, as you watch this video. So to do pictures, so we can get that picture, that screenshot in here, that pool table picture, I'm going to grab my image tool, which is in this text toolbox here. It says flower tool. So when you click on GeoGebra to place a picture, you're always going to be placing the bottom left corner. That's where when we click, that's what we're setting, is that bottom left corner of our picture. So I always like to click down here. I'm already in my screenshot folder, so this is my latest screenshot. So I'm going to click open, and now it's going to insert that picture that we took in GeoGebra so that we can overlay our geometry on this picture here. So it takes a second here. Okay, so here's my picture. Now notice it's giant. I could try to zoom out with the zoom out tool, right? It's in this move graphics. This is what you normally see. But you can zoom in, zoom out if you want. I think we could even use our fingers, just like you would imagine with a tablet. But zooming on a picture doesn't really do us a whole lot, okay? So here's how we do this. Here's how we can change the size of our picture. I'm going to grab my point tool, all right? And I'm just going to put 2 points down. Yours are going to be blue. I've been messing around with my GeoGebra a little bit, so they're red right now. But anyways, set 2 points. Maybe I'll make them look just like yours. Okay, so your A and your B. All right, now what you're going to do is we want to change the property of this picture. So what I'm going to do is hold my pen down on the screen until you get that little circle. That's our right click like on a computer. When you let go, I'm going to go to Object Properties. I got my picture selected, so I'm going to change the properties of this picture. And notice one of my tabs is Position. So I'm going to click Position. And we've got the 2 corners here. So I'm going to make this bottom left corner my point A that I have. Notice the picture moved. And my corner 2, this bottom right, I'm going to make it B. And then I'm going to get out of here. All right, so now, depending where A and B are, we have our picture, right? And we can also just click on the picture and drag it too. So we could resize things by using points, and that's how I put pictures in GeoGebra. Okay, so now what we got here is our picture of our pool game here. Remember, we're going to hit this ball off of the rail into this pocket. So here's how reflections kind of work for us here. There's 3 main objects when we play pool to make this shot happen. We have to hit our cue ball, so there's one. We have to hit this ball, the one that we're trying to get in the hole. That's my second object. And the hole itself is like its destination. It's kind of a point, it's a location as well. So we need 3 points here, okay? So I'm going to grab my new point tool. I'm going to make it as large as I can to represent the pool balls in the pocket here. So my white ball is going to be, my cue ball is going to be a white point. make it white, and I'll adjust these here. This ball, I don't want it white, I want it red. And then the pocket right here, maybe I'll make it, doesn't need to be black, let's make it, say blue. Okay, so now I'm going to grab my move tool and I'm just going to reset my point C so that it's a little better fit on these objects here, right? So GeoGebra, even though we see the other balls and stuff on the table, GeoGebra doesn't know what anything is. So we have to overlay points on top of our objects so that we can, manipulate those new points as if they were pool balls, okay? All right, now, here's what I kind of want to think about. When we bank, the angle that the ball hits the rail is the angle that it's going to come off, right? So there is a reflection deal going on here, but more importantly too is we can think of this rail right here as a line. So I'm gonna, since that's the rail that I want to bank off of, I'm gonna make this a line so that I can use it as a line of reflection, really, to be honest with you. So I got my line here, that's representing the rail, that's my line of reflection. So what I'm going to do is take my destination, the pocket, where I want the ball to end up, this point E representing the pocket. I'm going to take this point and I'm going to reflect it over this line. So I'm going to grab my reflect tool. I'm going to select my point to reflect, and then I'm going to click on my line to reflect over it. I have an E prime now. You can see it in your algebra window here. E prime is that reflected point. I just can't see it. But now that our picture is defined by point A and point B over here, then we can now zoom out because the points are going to zoom too. So when let's undo that. So I'm grab my move tool here, actually my zoom out tool, or use your fingers if you want to, just pinch them together and you can zoom out. And now you can see the reflected point. So now this pocket, our point E representing the pocket and its reflection point, they're reflections of each other, right? So we have equidistant here, okay? So now what we can do is think about this. I'm going to connect with a segment so I can see what's going on here. Make this stand out a little bit. Maybe I want the path of my ball to be yellow. Or maybe, yeah, we'll go yellow. So you can think about this. D to E, when you make a segment here, notice where that line intersects our line of reflection, right? That's actually going to be the point that we want to this ball to hit on the rail right here so that we can get it here. You know what I mean? So the reason that all that's working, by the way, if you think about this, I'm going to take that intersection point. So I'm going to actually create that intersection, that point H right there. Okay? So really, if you think isosceles triangles that are huge in reflections, this is actually what's happening here. And I hope you can see now, just by reflecting this, just by reflecting the pocket over our rail that we're banking on, we can see, I hope, the symmetry, the angles that are getting formed here. So you can see this path that the ball's actually taking to our reflection point, but where it hits the line of reflection, the rail, is where we're going to hit that ball. You can actually see now this path. This is actually how the ball is going to behave. Okay, so to make that happen, we just have to make sure that we hit our cue ball to this ball, to the ball we want to hit, so that it hits our spot. Okay, so now it's just a visual. When we go back to the pool game, we have to remember, okay, I think that point that we have to hit is somewhere like right here. Okay, so I'm going to go back to my pool game. And now that point H, remember, it was sitting somewhere like right here. And I can't really mark on the screen right now, so that's what I need to visualize. So now what I want to do is get it so that seems like that'll, right here. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is just weigh, how hard do I want to hit this thing? Maybe that hard. I hit my ball, but you could kind of see, I hope, that there was a path for that. Okay, let's do one more. If you want to quit the video right now, feel free to, but let's do one more. I'm going to try to bank this ball into this pocket here, okay? So here's the process again, so that we can use reflections to help us. You want to think of this rail right here as a line of reflection, right? So we're going to take the pocket that we want to get and reflect it over this line, this rail, okay? So you can kind of imagine, that point, if you were it would reflect like somewhere off of your tablet, right? But that's where we want this ball to hit when we connect this ball and the reflection point over this line. Where that line intersects our rail is where this ball needs to hit. Okay, so I'm going to take my screenshot again. And then I'm going to go back to GeoGebra. And let's go File, New. I'm going to get a new one here. So your screenshot, once you get your geometry, just take a screenshot and send it to me. This quest, you need to do 3 of these. So anyways, I'm going to insert my new screenshot, screenshot 4, open it. Got to wait a second. Sorry, the video is still going. There's my picture. So remember, we need 2 points here. So I'm going to go point to point so that we can set those as the corners. I'm going to right click or hold down on my tablet with my pen. Go to Object Properties, Position tab. I'm going to set my corner 1 to A, corner 2 to B. And now I got my picture. And now we can zoom in and out if we want to. Okay? So now, here's the ball that I'm going to hit. I want to go into this pocket, so I'm going to set those points up. So, ball. And we really don't need, I was just kind of putting a point there to show the cue ball. I mean, the full path would be point to point or a segment, right? So, if you're to think about this, this segment is representing that ball path from hitting the ball to the cue ball to the one we want to hit. We have to set our line of reflection, that is the rail we're banking off of. So I'm going to place my line of reflection, say right there. The pocket here is what I want to reflect. So I'm going to take my reflection tool and I'm going to select my pocket point and reflect it over my line. Okay. I'm going to scroll over. There's my point, right? There's my reflection of the pocket. So now when I connect the ball that I'm going to try to sink and connect it to the reflection of the pocket, this intersection right here is what's going to be where we want our ball to hit, right here. And it kind of looks like it's exactly halfway, right? So if I make the intersection point, oops, see how H is purple? So it's a purple color. That means it's not the intersection point. It'll slide on me. That intersection, there's only 1 point for an intersection. So it's going to be that fixed color, that dark gray one. If you don't want to get accurate like that, now that I got H, see how it's dark? Now I know that's the intersection point. Okay. And then I'm just going to finish off my path here by just going from intersection back to the pocket. And you can see, I hope, that we have this isosceles, this symmetry concept going on here. So really, this path right here is just the reflection of that path. Okay? So there's my point. If I were you, maybe zoom in a little bit, and then take your screenshot, and then you're going to attach those in your quest. But let's see how well we did here. I'm going to go back to my pool game. It seemed like that point that we have to hit somewhere right in the middle. So I'm going to try to get this thing. And this game's a little hard to be accurate, but oh, I missed the ball, but that point is where we needed to hit. Okay? So good luck, guys. Play around, but I want 3 screenshots of bank shots here, and you're going to do the GeoGebra thing.